password, then you need to make sure that when that person leaves the company, you disable that. So if that person is not happy with you and the way that the person was leaving the company wasn't exactly the happy story, then you should be worried about access and maintaining access, and that's another big security area that you absolutely need to think about.
Okay, all right. What about, one of the concerns I'm sure some people have is on, choosing a particular vendor, right? And deciding, well, maybe I want to move to somewhere else, and that kind of portability. What do you have to say about that topic?
Portability was absolutely a huge topic of discussion. I think today, when people are choosing where to go, it looks like if they're talking just about kind of compute power and where they want to host their applications that they create, they don't want to get locked in. So they want to make sure that if they go to whoever it is, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, or Rackspace, whoever, they want to make sure that they have some kind of exit strategy, and if that vendor decides to charge them too much a year later or doesn't provide a good service, that they have that backup plan to go somewhere else. So there are a few things a few positive sides of in that story. One is the whole standardization process that is going. DMTF has recently announced that they are starting to discuss with commercial vendors the whole portability and common standards across virtual platforms, across compute power within cloud computing. And then vendors like VMware and Microsoft both announced that they plan to let other companies, other hosting partners host VMware vCloud or Microsoft Azure. So if you develop for a particular, even if you are developing for a particular cloud system, you're still not locked into a particular data center and particular vendor, so you would still have choice.
Mm-hmm. Are you seeing right now any kind of particular advantages towards the Microsoft's online services as compared to the competitors?
Online services meaning BPOS or meaning Azure?
Either way, both of them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So with Azure, I think what I see is that from development perspectives, companies that are more aligned with Microsoft technologies, if they are already .NET shops, heavy users of Visual Studio, need Active Directory integration, have Microsoft technology all over the place. Microsoft products tend to work better together. So same thing seems to be happening here as well. So for these companies, it looks like often that's the advantage that Windows Azure is given. Again, if
same kind of story, I'm guessing, kind of for BPOS.
With other stuff, right? Yeah, with BPOS, if you're already and you have Outlook deployed everywhere, your users are familiar with SharePoint and with Exchange, Outlook Web Access, etc., etc. Again, it's an easier transition for you if you are a Microsoft shop and you want to stay with that client technology and client experience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, what general guidance would you give people when trying to tackle this whole deal as an IT pro? You're out there trying to make decisions on this thing, right? Where would you send people to get info?
Yeah. So the general guidance is that first of all, you shouldn't be scared, because like the whole cloud idea for a lot of IT pros initially sounds scary. It sounds like, oh my God, all our systems are going to be run by Microsoft, Google, Amazon, you name it, and then they won't need any sysadmins. So what's my
point?
Yeah, why would I do that?
Yeah.
What do I tell my wife? So don't be scared of that. I mean, in reality, we know that most IT teams are running lean and are pretty stretched. And there are services that are just a commodity for a lot of companies. They don't like spending cycles maintaining Exchange, for example. They would rather spend their IT cycles doing something that is business critical. And experiment. A lot of times, C-level guys come from a conference like that, and they've been to the keynote, and they get all excited. and they come to IT pros and say, you know what, Exchange Online is great, and the it was, I saw the demo at the TechEd keynote, we just moved there, or whatever, or they come and say, you know what, I use Gmail at home, Gmail works great, let's just move all to Gmail. So yeah, you need to experiment, you need to do a pilot project, you don't just rush there, because there are a lot of things that you would just find on the way, and the whole identity integration, security, and user impact.
Okay. Yeah, so other than doing the pilot programs, is there any like resource locations you'd point people to?
Right, yeah, so in the Microsoft world, obviously, there's a BPOS webpage on Microsoft website, and BPOS is business productivity online suite. So then Windows Azure, obviously, www.microsoft.com/Azure. Again, a lot of information there. So yeah, definitely there's a lot of resources, a lot of blogs out there, a lot of places to get started, and beta programs are fairly active for all of the technologies.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Dmitry, very much for your time.
Yeah, thanks, David.
Right on.